Hello there, welcome back to another video to the Wheels and Journeys YouTube channel. You are joined with me in the fancy Mercedes-Benz GLA. This is the entry level and maybe kind of midway segue into the brand, if I could put it in that sense. And what is this car? Well, you have the G class, so you have the GLA, GLB, GLC, GLS, and then of course you have this. Now, what can I tell you about this car from everything in my time spent with it? In summation, it's a refreshed design. Cosmetic revisions have been made, lots more tech and gadgets and gizmos, but we'll get into that later in the video. But for now, I thought I'd just give you my honest opinion in the first couple segments of the video. And what I have to tell you from it, well, I wasn't quite happy, to say the least, driving this car in my time spent with it. A few things bugged me. Well, the creaks in the cabin, the finicky boot lid as well. But I suppose that maybe someone probably damaged it before me, and so the car, hence maybe it wasn't working as well as it should. But just generally everything in this car, it's nice, it looks fantastic, it is kind of the epitome of luxury. But even if you listen closely, the rattle in the boot, I think the boot lid is very loose. But nonetheless, let me be honest here. What is different? Well, it is a different bumper, different look to it, refreshed design, looks quite fancy to say the least, full LED headlamps front and back, just a modern twist. Everything is new, refreshed. This car came in this optional color called spectral blue, fancy 19-inch AMG wheels, and just a few other kits and sorts that give it a bit more of a fancy appearance, and it looked quite fantastic. I don't fault the car for its looks in that aspect. But coming inside the cabin, well, we'll chat about that briefly. It is powered by a 1.3 liter turbocharged petrol motor, and it does not sound really that impressive. You might be wondering, why is this car so you are paying close to just over R1 million for something of the sort, and there's a truck that just decided to stop right in the middle of the road. Very terrible. But yes, let me talk about the power output. It's about 120 kilowatts, 270 newton meters of torque, paired with a mild hybrid gizmo, if I can say it like that, that offers another 10 kilowatts of power. So yes, efficiency, I believe it should be on par, but I was achieving about 8 liters per 100 kilometers, 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's not because I was driving like Lewis Hamilton. It was actually because I was driving quite moderately in the city. And yes, driving wise, I'll get into that just now, but cabin wise is where I wanted to share a bit of my wisdom in my time spent with this car. In summary, well, this car has a lot more kit to it. You'll find in this cabin there's 2 big displays, a 10.25 inch screen, your virtual cluster, and your infotainment screen, which is quite nice actually. It has Apple CarPlay, very efficient to connect to. This is the upgraded MBUX system, so it is efficient, the levels are there. And yeah, a few other things is would be the wireless charging, ambient lighting, the nice fancy AMG wheels, and the cabin just feels quite plush. The memory function that came in this car for the seats is quite good. Yeah, but everything is quite simple. There's not really much happening in this car that struck after me, if I had to put it in that aspect. I think that they really did try. But did they succeed? I don't know. That is the question I'm thinking in my mind. But yes, let me not get too lost into thought. Leather seats with a mixture of suede interior trim, which is quite fantastic. A nice panoramic sunroof. But all of these things that I'm mentioning is optional extras, so you are not necessarily getting anything standard here. It's all paid for extras. The driver assistance packages, the advanced plus package systems, I believe it's called the nighttime package, which is the tinted windows, and that's about it really. A few more things would be, I'm trying to think, of course, the color, the wheels, 19-inch AMG wheels. And when you think of optional extras, well, it tips the scale of just about 128 grand just for optional extras. And the starting price for this car, ladies and gentlemen, is about 914,000 rand. And you know what? I kind of felt a bit sad in my time with this car, because initially I didn't really feel like I liked what I was seeing. It didn't really stir the soul for me in my aspect of driving. Yes, when you look at it, it's fancy. The bells, the whistles, the nice steering wheel, the system, the infotainment system is just perfect to use. You can choose your driving modes, sport, comfort, all those good sorts. Your ambient lighting, I mean, come on, the theatrics in this car look quite fantastic, but you'll notice the build quality inside of it sometimes can be quite creaky. Everything inside just tends to be a bit, you'd expect more for when you're paying for just R1 million for a car like this. And that's just the honest truth. I don't want to bash the brand, but I was expecting more. When I saw this car, I thought, wow, it's going to be fantastic. And eventually a few things just started showing itself, and let's chat about space-wise. Well, boot space is quite decent. I'll put the figures in the description. You'll find even for passengers, it's not that tight at all. I think if you're a taller gentleman, you may find it a bit tight. You have a plentiful headroom for yourself. But that's about it. I want to try and keep this review quite short, because my article review has the full depth knowledge and my honest opinions with everything, all the nitty-gritty details for those people that love the details. It would be there. And so, in retrospect, well, yes, 1.3 liter turbo driving capabilities. While it feels quite nice on road, it's quite a nice cruiser. It's punchy when you need it to be punchy. It's quick when you need it to be quick. I'm just not a big fan of there's this bit of slight turbo delay, turbo lag here and there. And yeah, it's like one of those people that I would like to describe this car as someone that just doesn't have flavor. That sounds harsh, but it's just one of those cars that I don't picture myself driving. I think I would choose something different in the brand, maybe the GLC, but that's a lot more expensive. But I just don't know if I would picture myself with this car, because I feel like I don't feel like I'm getting what I'm paying for. R1 million just over. And when you tick all the optional extras that came with, it brings it over to 1,038,000 rand. It comes with a 1 year, 5 year, 100,000 kilometer warranty and service plan. And yes, that's really about it. But driving dynamics, it's not a sporty car. It's just a normal cruiser. It's nice. It has the part. It has everything you want. Competition wise, it's facing the likes of the BMW X1, the Audi Q3, and yeah, those are quite good in my opinion. I really like those cars. I haven't tested them out yet. I've driven the Q3. That's quite fantastic. I like the Q3. But this, I don't see myself driving this, to be honest with you. I think Mercedes-Benz, this was the forgotten child. That's how I would title it. But everything else, apart from what I've mentioned, it's a solid commute. Definitely solid German engineering at its finest. But yeah, please, that's just what I feel about this car. I thought I would grow to like it as well during testing, but I didn't. I felt, maybe if it was the diesel, because there's a diesel variant of this. There's the diesel variant, and so the diesel variant might be much more interesting, much more engaging, much more torquier. Oh, torque is not a word, but has a lot more torque, has a lot more gumption. I just, yeah, this was not doing it for me. Hey, I'm paying close to R1 million for a 1.3 litre turbocharged petrol motor, which is equivalent to the one found in the Renault Clio. But I do understand, though, this is the entryway into their brand for many people who love the badge, who love Mercedes. This is their car, this is something they want to get into. It might be your cup of tea. It's even A-Class have had subtle complaints about its build quality and interior, and yeah, you know, the positives, well, they've hit the hammer on the head with the design. I mean, the refreshed grille, everything comes into play together, but remember, it's a facelift, it's a refreshed, so you don't have to necessarily sell your old GLA and jump to this. I think just keep it, enjoy it, because yeah, this is not, I wouldn't necessarily jump out of my hot seat and take it immediately. You're not really missing out on much. It's just the nice little subtle tweaks that you'll notice. Your cabin is different, the tech is different, it's more engaging, it's more fresh, it's crispier. The design is also quite nice, but that's about it. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that concludes the short little quick review, well, it's not short, of Mercedes-Benz GLA. You can probably find the link down below. Well, you will find the link down below into the full review of my impressions of this car, just so you get a better understanding as a consumer. And yes, tune in every week at 12:30 on Capricorn FM, where I chat cars. You can also find that radio insert in the YouTube description box down below. Otherwise, yes, to buy the GLA or not to buy the GLA, that is the question. But you know where I stand, that's just my honest opinion. For the die-hard Mercedes-Benz lovers out there, you might just ignore everything altogether and possibly buy this car. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. But for me, I was never much of a Mercedes-Benz fan. I always liked the Volvos more so. But yeah, you know what? Sorry guys, this was just one for me that didn't really make the heart skip a beat. I just say go for the GLC 220D Coupe. That was fantastic. But yes, I'm getting lost. So thank you so much for watching. Please do have a blessed week and stay tuned for more to come to the Wheels and Journeys YouTube channel. Much love. Cheers.